What's up, everybody? Today we're going to have a live discussion. Who is the next starting point guard for the Washington Wizards? Is it a free agent option? Is it a draft option? Or is the option already on the team? We're going to talk about it tonight, y'all. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Brandon Scott again. I appreciate you guys making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. So what's good, everybody? We're going to have a Friday night TGIF live discussion. And in live discussion tonight, everybody, is who should be the front runner for the starting point guard position for the Washington Wizards. So we're going to look at all options, players already on the roster, Wizards free agents, outside free agents, and draft options. And we're going to discuss, like we always do, to kick off the weekend, like kick it off right, y'all. Because, man, I'm telling you, this bourbon is give me the mean bug right now. So let's get to it. So look at the starting point guard. Obviously, we have some options to improve this team. 2 first-round picks in this draft coming up, and a second rounder, the 51st overall. We do have a couple of a free agent in Tyus Jones, who could come back. So we're gonna look at all the options, and then we're gonna chat it up like we always do. And I'm gonna kind of give you guys who I think should be the front runner for right now. Obviously, there's a lot of dominoes need to fall, and a lot of decisions need to be made, man. But I do think that we can start looking at some options at starting point guard. So let's get into the Wizards free agent, unrestricted free agent Tyus Jones. Previously the starting point guard for the Wizards this season. Now, again, he is an unrestricted free agent. There have been reports that the Wizards want to bring him back. And looking at his exit interview comments, he has made it known that not only does he like being here and being in his locker room and being with his organization, but his family's very comfortable living in the DMV. So Tyus Jones, should he be retained to be the starting point guard? I'm gonna look at everything, as you guys know how I roll, man. I'm gonna look at every angle and every perspective and try to come to a sound decision. What can he do? Now, looking at year 2 rebuild, look at the pros of Tyus Jones. Obviously, you know, his assist numbers, assist to turnover ratio numbers are elite numbers. He fits the mold as a floor general, a guy who's going to look to get other people involved first. And offensively, while he's not a guy you can really pencil in as a 20 minutes point, or 20 points a night guy. He's a guy with the floater, with the 3-point shot. He definitely can't contribute, but he's not a guy who's the first option by any measure, because he is the traditional floor general looking to get other people involved. Now, trying to develop shooters or guys on the offensive side, on the outside, like Denny Avdia, Corey Kispert, or other players that we may draft, or even vets like JP13 and Kyle Kuzma, I think he can do a good job setting people up. Now, what is the biggest thing we need to see from the point guard position? Or a couple things, really. Number one, defense. Tyus Jones, if he indeed comes back, which I'm gonna give you my opinion after this, but if he indeed comes back, you need a guy, the 2 guard, who's gonna be able to defend. And we saw what the backcourt of Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole can produce, and it was lackluster effort. Well, I'm not gonna say effort, it's just not a really good backcourt as far as defensively, and they're very undersized. So we saw the capabilities of a Jordan Poole and Tyus Jones backcourt, and I think that we should look at other options, in my opinion. Tyus Jones, I think he could be good for a rebuild, obviously. But then the negative is, again, you need to find the 2 guards going to be able to defend. Now, could you put up Bilal Coulibaly or, maybe a future piece at the 2 guard who can defend? Absolutely. And short it up. Now, for that to happen, JP13 would have to beat a 6 man, which is not an unrealistic situation. But I think that I don't think it's just, I think there's a percentage of chance it could happen because, like I said, there are people in the organization that do like Tyus, but you got to get to a certain degree, and you got to get to a certain point where a youth movement has to emerge, man. You got to have a young option. And while I do like Jared Butler on the second unit, Jared Butler is by no means, the future face of the point guard position in DC. So I think that, there are really good reasons to bring Tyus back. One thing that just the offense wants to do, from what I've gathered from exit interviews and talking to not only players but the coaching staff, is They want to push the pace. This team was the best team in the NBA. Believe it or not, Lord. This team was actually the best team in the NBA in pace. So when they catch teams off guard and off balance in transition and attack in transition, man, this is a really good squad, in my opinion. And I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs and none of that, man, because I think we all know, look, getting to 20 wins, man, is definitely a blessing if we can get there. But, look, pushing the pace, you're definitely going to get the best capabilities out of this team. So, can Tyus Jones push the pace? I think he can, but we'll see. So there's a lot of good reasons why they should retain him. Even, he's looking for starting money. But I do humbly think that, eventually you got to start a youth movement in DC. And that's why I wouldn't bring him back. I do like Tyus Jones, but I think that a younger option could definitely be in store for the Washington Wizards, man, at the point guard position. In my opinion, like I said, if this was not a rebuilding team, I would love Tyus Jones here, man, because to a certain degree, he was a leader just because he's been in the NBA for a minute and definitely has done a good job trying to bring some knowledge to the young guys, man, about the grind of the NBA, especially guys at the point guard position, whether it's Jared Butler or Jordan Poole, really showing them the ropes of being a floor general, right? All right. So I don't think we should retain him, but he does have good qualities where he could definitely be a fit. Looking at another we're going to look at the draft now. What are some draft options real quick? I'm looking at 4 options within the draft. I went to the draft. Free agency wise, as far as outside organization, I don't see a lot of options, if any at all, as far as signing somebody to be point guard. If they do not go ahead and make Jordan Poole the guy at point, we're going to talk about that. But or they're probably going to retain Tyus or into the draft. Bringing in an outside free agent at point guard, I do not see that happening. So we're going to go straight to the draft prospects. We're going to start with Nikola Topic. And this week coming up, I am going to dig deep into the scouting report for Nikola Topic. So we're definitely looking out for that video with this week coming up. But kind of really a quick scouting report. Nikola Topic, with his size and his motor, is very intriguing at point guard as far as a draft option. But the biggest things with him and the biggest issues with the Wizards are defense and shooting, right? He can't, his shot is a work in progress, and his defense leaves a lot to the imagination, right? I mean, his defense needs work. So, while the high motor I like, the defense and the lack of a shot does concern me, but it's not to say that, he definitely sits. If he's drafted to DC, man, he's not going to be starting. You definitely look for somebody else to be the starter, and he definitely is going to be on the second unit and develop. So I think, if they do make that move to draft Nikola Topic, he's definitely being drafted to be the point guard of the future, and he's definitely going to sit on the second unit and develop, which he should be. And they're definitely going to have other options at starting point guard. I like his measurements. I do like his size. I like his motor again. I like how he attacks the basket, but the lack of a shot and the lack of defense really are red flags to me long term. But it's not to say he can't work on those areas. So, I mean, his high motor is intriguing, y'all. We're going to look at another draft prospect real quick. We already went over Rob Dillingham of University of Kentucky, obviously a combo guard. I've already gone over what I thought of Rob Dillingham, big fan of him. But long term, if you indeed want to make him a point guard, you got to find a 2-guard who can defend. Rob Dillingham defensively, he's a shooter. He definitely can score, man. But definitely needs a little work defensively, man. He's not dealing with the bare minimum. Obviously you see the effort, but Rob Dillingham, to me, if you indeed keep Jordan Poole, is looking like a 6-man candidate, and which is cool because, in my opinion, everybody needs a Lou Williams, right? But if indeed they want to have a vision of him being a starter, you need a 2-guard who's going to be able to defend and be able to definitely show up the defensive in that issues that Rob Dillingham has. And yeah, you can look at it easily. Black Coulibaly could be a candidate, being a taller and a more defensive. Better defensive player is what I'm trying to say. So, Rob Dillingham, like I said, definitely a good scorer. But there's other ways you got to construct your backcourt and your roster to support him, because obviously he's not. If you look at his size and his lack of defense, again, you got to have a 2 guards who can defend in that backcourt, because we saw what a backcourt where both guys are undersized and both guys aren't really good defenders, what that produces, and it's very lackluster results, in my opinion. So we're going to look at Reed Shepherd and Isaiah Collier real quick. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. All right, so when you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board, y'all. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else, y'all. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy that, in fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Where? LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or the resources to hire. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. That's all I'm saying, y'all. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnba to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day long? Have to turn down the volume with all that shouting? Make the switch today to Locked On Sports, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for your everyday to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming, y'all. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. So let's get back into it, everybody. We're going to knock out a few more candidates and a familiar face as the final candidate. And then we're going to get into chopping it up like we always do to start this weekend off right, y'all. All right, so a couple more trade candidates. Reese Shepard, again, another combo guard out of University of Kentucky. And again, like Rob Dillingham, he's a guy who, he very intriguing as far as the score. Now, the defense is definitely something that, needs work, in my opinion. And just like Rob Dillingham, where, the size, if this front office indeed has a vision of him being a point guard, you got to have a two guard with some size who can defend. So it all depends on who the two guard is as far as Rob Dillingham and Reese Shepard being candidates for point guard. And looking at combo guards, man, I see both of them is either a future two guard, starting two guard it is, or a six man. I don't see neither one of them is really in the mold of a starting point guard. I think we've seen too many examples of the Wizards trying to turn combo guards into starting point guards, looking at Spencer Dinwiddie and Monte Morris. So I think that really we need a guy who's going to be the floor general, who's looking to distribute first. And if he's looking to score, definitely use his speed and his offensive tools to help other people around him get better, really collapse the defense. And like I always say, utilize outside shooters. So final piece, Isaiah Collier. Again, Isaiah Collier, while his draft stock has kind of been up and down with how UFC's season has gone, he is a very intriguing option. And he's a guy that I think that could be molded into a point guard, but he's got to be developed. And now, again, this is a developmental draft. So right now we are obviously drafting for the future. Now there are some guys, like you guys know, I like Klingon. I like Stephon Castle, which are guys are really closer to the mold of being starters than a lot of guys in this draft, in my opinion. But this is a good draft for teams like the Wizards who are trying to develop talent. And Isaiah Collier, like I said, if you already got a guy who's going to hold down the position in a Jordan Poole, you can have a guy like an Isaiah Collier or a Nikola Topic who can kind of sit on the second unit, develop, and then when it's time to flip Jordan Poole, if indeed that's what their vision is, you can do that. And you have a guy that's ready to roll, and the youth movement rebuild can commence or continue going. So we have options. And if the Wizards really want to go through the draft at point guard, nothing against Rob Dillingham and Reese Shepard, because I would love them here in DC, just not as starting point guards. I see them in the mode of, two guards, starting two guards, or 6 men off the bench, providing quality minutes and points off the bench. And both of them can definitely score and shoot the lights out, man. So that's definitely where I see them going forward. Neither one of them really screams starting point guard. Nikola Topic is intriguing. Now, he had a knee injury, and it's the same knee that he injured earlier this season in his respective leagues. So we'll see. I'll definitely keep you guys in link, or keep you guys in definitely let you guys know what's going on with his knee injury, man, because could be significant, and it's the same injury he had earlier this year. So that could definitely have an impact on his draft position and whether he gets drafted at all. So I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop and let you guys know what the extent of the injury is. All right, so let's get into the final candidate and who I think should definitely be the starting point guard going forward, and look at other scenarios concerning the point guard position. All right, the final candidate is already on the roster, and you guys already know JP13, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole had a very up and down season, a roller coaster ride of a season. The fan base, a lot of people, including myself, are very, very excited acquiring him from the Golden State Warriors because of what he can do as far as being a six man, being a scorer. He can definitely score in his league, man. If you look at the scoring averages, including this year, His rookie year was 2019 to 2020. It was 8 points a game. Next year to 12. Next year to 18. Next year to 20. And then he took a slight decline this year to 17. And really, considering the fact he struggled from really half of the season, a 3-point dip is not that bad. Now, obviously, looking at, field goal percentage at 41%, you definitely want to see that rise. League average is around 45. 3-point percentage was 32. So again, league average was 35, so you definitely want to see that go up. And his assist numbers were slightly less than last year, which was his career high of a 4.5 average. He averaged 4.4 assists this year, so you definitely want to see those numbers go up if he indeed wants to be the point guard, because we know what Jordan Poole can do. He can attack the basket. He can shoot lights out. Now, he can he can score at a high clip, right? He's definitely a score first guy. He can definitely score. He's a really good scorer in this league, and he's proven that. Now, what are areas he needs to show up if he wants to be the point guard in DC? Well, he has to learn to use that speed, to use that aggression when attacking the basket, to utilize that is popping it outside the shooters, right? To try to get to the line. He's got to get better with assist numbers. Like I said, you see times where the passing's on point, the vision's there, but he's got to look at getting other people involved more than trying to score. We know you can score, JP, and you already know we know you can score, homie. It's just getting other people involved, because that's the point guard, man. The point guard is the quarterback in the NBA, man. You're the leader. You're the guy that calls the plays. You're the guy who, you dictate the pace. You dictate everything, man. You are the quarterback. So, definitely qualities that I want to see him, adopt. But I think that he, with hard work, he can get there. So you guys already know. I think that, okay, hear me out. And I get it, man. Not everybody sees him as a long-term option, but I do. Because what factors really make me say that? Look at his age, man. He's 24 years old. I mean, you look at the numbers. He's proven he can score at a high clip. He's proven he can play at an all-star level. Now, with his struggles this year, obviously he got a lot of smoke from his channel and in pretty much every sports outlet in the country. And rightfully so, because he struggled. And he had, certain moments, Shaq to the phone moments, and there were calls about his maturity. And while I do think that certain media outlets kind of fabricated a lot about, issues on the court and this and this and this, because, like I said, at the end of the year, the players let me know that, look, the locker room was not a bad locker room. Everybody got along. So a lot of these issues are fabricated. I get all that. And, everything's in hindsight, right? As always. So you're not going to find things out till the end. So that was definitely good news to me as far as the culture and, of the locker room, which is very important for this team and any young rebuilding team. But he's only 24. He's proven that he can do the job. Most importantly to me, and you guys have heard it before, what really impressed me the most by Jordan Poole was the fact that he caught so much heat. As a young player, not every young player can take that amount of heat and still keep working, man. Ben Simmons is a guy, and I hate to keep harping on him, even though he's a very easy target. He's a guy where he just couldn't handle the criticism. He wasn't willing to put that work in to improve himself. He wasn't willing to stop reading the comments and improve himself as a player. And at the end, it cost him a career, because I do not believe he's going to be in the league very long, and he shouldn't be, because right now he's just stealing money, in my opinion. If you're not going to work to improve your game and try to help your team out, you're just stealing money. And you're the Jamarcus Russell in the NBA, in my opinion. You just pretty much you stole money from the 76ers. So Jordan Poole, getting back on point, Jordan Poole has proven, mentally that he's ready to take the brunt of being the guy. Because look, again, being point guard, man, especially a franchise point guard, ask John Wall, ask Russ one year here, ask Gilbert Arenas, you're the guy. When everything goes right, kudos to you. Everything goes wrong, it's your fault. And bringing that, any franchise point guard, what comes along with that? Leadership. People are looking to you to be that guy, man, when it's the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, to be able to, man, pick up the slack and finish that thing out. People have to look to you to be that leader, man. And right now, we're hoping to see leadership traits from Jordan Poole, because, the biggest leaders on the team has been who? Kyle Kuzma and Anthony Gill, in my opinion, and amongst other people. I believe that, Jordan Poole has shown glimpses of leadership. Denny has shown glimpses of leadership. Tyus Jones has definitely handed down knowledge as far as being that guy that's been in the league a minute. And, veterans like Landry Shamet, again, have really helped these young guys as far as what they expect in the NBA season, man. The intricacies of building organization from the ground up. Culture is important. Effort, playing the right way, playing with the right mindset. These are things that. So I definitely want to see him be more of a leader if he definitely wants to be that starting point guard of the future. So we're gonna get into comments and we're gonna chop it up like we always do. But before we do, Tonight's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. And with all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right, everybody, let's get into the final portion like we always do on Friday night. Appreciate everybody, man. We got 27 people in here. I get it's Friday night, man, but I definitely appreciate you guys for showing up, man, and chopping up with your boy like we always do. So let's get into it. Pink Differ says JP can play the point guard with Denny as long as JP pass more than shoot is okay, because his percentage never has been good enough to bad shot selection most. I agree that, his shot selection has to get better. His efficiency has to get better. That's definitely, areas he struggled at as far as high percentage shots and, definitely utilizing the shot clock. Those are things I really got on him about. And I agree. I think that if he indeed is going to be the point guard, I definitely look at Denny as being the secondary ball handler, because he has proven that he can do that. So I agree. There are areas he needs to change if he indeed, but like I said, there are good options on the list that we went over. Like I said, I went over my favorites as far as, and like I said, we're going to dig deeper into more candidates. Looking at more sleepers like Cody Williams. We're going to explore that on Sunday. But, if they indeed on drafting a point guard, especially at 2, Nikola Topic, I think, can do the job. And Isaiah Carter, I don't see him as an option at 2, maybe at 26, even though I don't think he's going to be there. But whoever we draft, if we indeed draft a point guard, they're going to be sitting. They're not going to start right away. So you have, is looking at Jordan Poole is going to be the guy. And I think rightfully so, because they've shown that when him at the helm pushing the pace, man, this team can roll and they can score and they can really be a really good team when they push space and they're a fast team. So, she said, but he did pass the ball well. Yeah, I mean, you see the vision. You see the potential with the vision. He, like I said, shooting high percentage shots, good looks. He's got to shoot good looks. The efficiency has to get better. You don't make mistakes. He's a young player, man. I'm not gonna get on about mistakes, man. Yeah, he has some Shaq the Fool moments, but he's a young player. What young player doesn't, man? So I'm not gonna get on about that. Modax Zero said, I trust Denny's decision making and vision. He's not Hollywood. He'll make the best decision most of the time and rather find an open guy instead of just nonsense shooting, unlike other people. I mean, I agree. I agree that you definitely have to look at Denny being that secondary ball handler. And at times, depending on the matchup, you very well can see a point forward. I definitely agree. You have to utilize Denny and what he can provide. But, as far as being the full-time guy, it depends on the matchup. You very well can see him start a point guard, depending on what matchups. And I think that Brian Keefe has done a good job of really utilizing matchups and, switching the lineup out. And if you look at the personnel we have a roster where a lot of guys can play different positions. So you can, that gives him the capability to do that. So I think we're in good hands as far as that. But I agree, man. I definitely think he should be secondary ball handler. Another guy, as my man says, Alonzo's Skins Nation. What's up? Sid Butler. As far as starter, nah, man. But I definitely say the second unit, man. He has definitely earned that, man. Now looking at his contract, is non-guaranteed next year. So while he does have a multi-year contract, it's non-guaranteed. So we'll see what kind of moves. Right now, I look at him as being the backup point guard. That could change depending on where they go in the draft or in free agency. But I don't see us really active in the free agent situation, man, because our roster is pretty set outside of the draft and our own free agents such as Tyus Jones. Uptown Dre, what's good? Yo, my brother, what's good, man? How you doing tonight, man? Poole says Poole should go. He's not the primary ball handler. I mean, here's the thing. It's 50-50, right? On one hand, you can see where the organization could consider him being a long-term fitted point guard. On the other hand, you see where the organization could be boosting his value to move him. It's a really good position the organization's in, because if you see him as the guy, then he very well could be the guy. He's young enough and he's shown enough that where if you can boost his value, you're going to get something for Jordan Poole eventually. So we're in a good position. We have a lot of decision making to make, but we're in a good position whether we retain or let go or trade. We're definitely in a good position because I think the front office is going to make the right decision, in my opinion. They have a lot of hope and a lot of lot of love in this front office, man. So I think we'll be all right. Liam Borning, DC said Poole should be the point guard with Kuzma and Denny handling just as much. I'll say this. I don't want to see Kuz bringing the ball up so much. I want to see a lot more Denny doing that. Is the secondary ball handler. But Kuzma can in certain situations, not to say that, but I definitely want to see a lot more point forward with Denny. Like I said, and looking at Kuz long term, obviously, do we need to move him right now? No, because this is a draft where we're probably not going to find a starter in this draft. So, especially if you get a 4, you want him to sit behind Kuzma on the second unit. So, but if you find a deal again, there's been reports, the Memphis Grizzlies are off for number 9. The Miami Heat are looking at Kuzma at number 15. So if you want to move back up, he's definitely with his contract is definitely a candidate to get moved. But do you need to move? No. But if you indeed on making this a youth movement and get some assets back, you can. So again, we're in a good position. Uptown Dre said Poole, point guard and shooting guard, and draft Castle at shooting guard 6'6", 215. He enjoys defense. Could be elite in association. Absolutely, sir. I agree with you. Like I said, I like Clingan, but I'm very split amongst Jonathan Clingan and Stephon Castle. I'm 50-50, man, because I do like Stephon Castle. His size, again, 6'6", 215, man. I mean, if you put him in a backcourt with Jordan Poole, you got a guy, like you said, Dre, who can defend, who, while his shot needs work, is going to get there, and he's going to be a threat offensively, especially driving the basket. But defensively, he fits that mold of being that 2 guard who can defend next to JP. So, yeah, if we don't go Clingan, man, Stephon Castle's my guy. If we don't go Clingan, I definitely think that Stephon Castle can be that guy, man, in my opinion. I love what I see from Stephon Castle because his size is intriguing. All right, getting to my man Link was good. I think GP will be better than these draft picks next year. I agree with you. I think JP is the candidate. He's my candidate to be the starting point guard. Because, like I said, there's no option who's going to start right now to replace him. And you very well could still go out and get point guard in this draft easily. But for right now, Jordan Poole is going to be the starting point. Oh, I don't know if he's going to be, but I hope he's going to be. That would be my pick. We're going to see in a little bit, man, because free agency is coming up, man. So we are going to see whether Tyus Jones is retained, whether he goes out in unrestricted free agency, or do we do a sign and trade deal? We're going to see, man, because, again, a lot of dominoes have to fall. Frank Potter says, Poole must be the point guard to succeed, and we should do everything we can to help him because he is untradeable and costs a bunch. Thank you. That is the biggest point, man. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, which is we have no choice because right now, like I said, he struggled last year, and I think he definitely rebounded in the second half, but right now he is a very untradeable contract. So, again, if Jordan wants to be here, if the organization wants to be here, I'm all about it, man. I think that he should definitely be the candidate to be the point guard going forward, man. But, if he indeed, if the front office is looking at boosting his value and moving him, I think they can. But you still have him here because regardless, you're going to have to develop somebody. We don't have anybody right now. And I don't see us being very active to go out there and get anybody or even trade for a veteran. I think just for that reason alone, he's going to be the point guard. But, just for skill set, I think that, and this is my opinion, everybody, but from corresponding with Jordan Poole and looking at the body of work, I'm going to say this. I do think that he's going to come out hot next year. I think he's going to work on his craft. I think that, with the reactions he got with his struggles, with him kind of showing himself and showing a lot of people that he can handle the criticism and keep him moving. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder next year, man. I'm telling you, man, I think that Jordan Poole's going to have a serious chip on his shoulder next season, man, and come out hot. My man, my bad. Meyer, been a long day, man. Says, what's left on JP's contract? That is a good question. Let me go ahead and look that up now. Because he, I believe, has 3 more years. But let me double check real quick, man, because I'm looking at Basketball Reference. Bear with me, everybody. So, as it stands, he has 3 years left. So next year he's making $29 million or 29.6. Next year, 31.8. And the final year, which will be the 2026 to 2027 season, $34 million. So, right now it behooves us to get him right, man. And I'm with you. I mean, help him out. Now, do I buy that nobody in the building wants to succeed? I don't buy that report, the whole Stephen A. conversation where it doesn't behoove this organization for nobody to want to succeed. I don't believe that. I think that with this locker room, this culture, people want to see each other succeed, man. Because again, these guys like playing with each other. And Jordan Poole ain't a scrub. He struggled. Yeah. He had his Shaq in the full moments. Do not get it twisted. But he's not a scrub, man. He has shown he can play. He is far from a scrub, man. So, but I appreciate the comment. So, yeah, that's what's left, man. About 3 years. So, yeah, man, if you look at the contract, man, it behooves us to get him right. And I think that, again, I think he's going to put the work in. I think he's going to come out hot, man. He's going to come out trying to prove a lot of doubters, man, in my opinion. Rigo Tone T, what's good, homie? Start Bilal at the 2 and JP run the point. Denny point forward. I like it. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. If you do not get Stephon Castle, you definitely roll with Bilal at the 2, man, in my humble opinion. You definitely wrote that because Bilal's shown he can do it. And again, just like Jordan Poole, I see Bilal really, because I know that Bilal's on the list for Team France. Look, I was a critic at one point of international play as far as letting your players go over there. And then I started watching it. And I was like, man, this is some good basketball, man. So, and you think about it, a lot of pros are playing overseas. I mean, and playing high-level basketball. So if you want him to take the next level, especially offensively, and you really want Bilal guarding some of these top guys, I think international play is the best way to do it, man. Nothing against summer leagues because, we'll see about that. But I think as far as if you really want to see that massive leap from year 1 to year 2 with Bilal, you put him on some guys who are prospective starters or high-end prospects in the NBA, man, in my opinion, for him to take that next level. But I definitely agree, man. Denny point forward, man, his capabilities. Denny and that vision, man, we don't talk enough about it. Bucket Getter says Jordan Poole is the point, our best player, and you saw it in the second half of the year. I agree. Jordan Poole really showed what he can do not only on the court, but how he can handle the pressures of being the guy, man. And I seen you JP13 at the Caps game, man, with your national hat on, man. Hey, man, if you like DC, DC's ready to embrace you, man. Like I said, we love our fast point guards here in DC, man. Agent Zero, John Wall, a cup of coffee with Russell Westbrook. We love our point guards to push the pace and have a little swag, man. So you definitely check that box. Bucket Getter says I would love Dillingham as 6-man or Collier Castle next pool. I'm with you. Dillingham to me would be his perfect role would be Lou Williams, man. He would be the Chocolate City's lemon pepper Lou, man. He'd be his chili bowl Lou. I'm just saying, like 6-man to me, he would shine. He would definitely shine because if you're intending to make him a point guard, which I don't see it because of his size and his defense, he's perfect, man. Being the microwave scorer off the bench. I'm with you. And Collier Castle, man. I'm not so much Collier, even though I do like Collier. And if you do bring him here, and I'd like to see him develop behind Poole. But Castle next to Poole, good Lord. I'm saying right now, y'all, Stephon Castle next to Poole, man, you're going to have a nice backcourt. You really are. I really, really are, man. Bucket Getter also says Dillingham next to Poole would be crazy on offense, but defense would be very shaky. Yeah, and that's my thing, man. If you bring Dillingham in here, the defense is not going to be very good. It's going to echo Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole. And if you look at the intricacies of basketball, man, if you have a point guard who doesn't defend much, man, you got to have a 2 guard who can defend. And you look at what's going on in Atlanta. Their defensive rating had went down since they acquired DeJounte Murray. So that shows you defense, especially at the 2, when you're next to a guy like a Trae Young, you got to have a guy who can defend, man. And so those are a couple good examples. Lynn Borning DC says could probably bring back DeLon Wright as a second unit point guard. I mean, I think the ship is sailed right now. I mean, I think that Jared Butler, now again, Jared Butler's contract's not guaranteed, so you very well could see other moves. DeLon Wright is intriguing. Now, would he want to come back? We'll see, man, because we were trying to ship a lot of vets out. So I don't know if he would really want to come back, man, but I enjoyed DeLon right here. I definitely did. Bucket Getter again says, I would like Tyus back, but I don't know if he wants to be 6-man. Yeah, Tyus wants to be the man. That was something that he definitely addressed in exit interviews is that he wants to be a starting point guard with starter money. And, I don't see that happening in DC, in my opinion, because could you? I mean, you could, but you would have to revert Jordan Poole back to 6-man. And would that be entirely bad because you could showcase his value as a 6-man potentially to contenders? No, but we'll see. I mean, it's a weird situation, man, because it's like I would rather see Jordan Poole be the man going forward. But if this was not a rebuilding team, I would love Tyus Jones here because he's a perfect floor general. It's just, I think going forward, as far as the youth movement, definitely look at the capabilities of a lot of players, especially Jordan Poole, we see what he can do being the guy. You got to roll with him, man, especially we got to push his pace. We've got to make this a faster team because last year, the last 10 games, man, we showed what we can do when we push the pace. You also said, in my opinion, Tillman is a what if, but could be as good. I see his playmaking vision is, slashing his playmaking vision again. I'm with you. Is attractive. I like what I see from that. It's just his shot in his defense, man. They scare me. And the knee injury, man, we'll see. We'll definitely see how bad that is. JP averaged 22 and 8 in the last 10. He was passing well at the end. Thank you. He definitely picked up the assist numbers. Yeah, absolutely. I love what I saw from JP. So I think, look, definitely fine tune those skills in the offseason. Definitely work on the inefficiencies, but I think he can definitely handle the starting point guard role, man. Definitely appreciate it, man. We got 41 more people on here, so I'm gonna try to get to everybody. We had 35 minutes, so hey, y'all, was pushing to 40 minutes, so we got about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna try to get to everybody. But like I said, we're gonna try to do. We're gonna continue doing this Friday night lives, man, so I can chop it up with you guys, man. But maybe I'll slide in a live video during the week, man. If you guys really got a lot of questions, so definitely comment below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If you guys would like to see maybe a live video like we do on Fridays during the middle of the week every once in a while, man, I'm definitely looking forward to that, man. If that's what you guys want to do. Uptown Dre said Poole trying to adjust to a new system. Players in a situation to go see, he thought he was the man, but slow down, learn, and be the leader we need. I agree, man. He had to acclimate to where he was at, and he took his L's. He really did. He took his L's by every major network in this country, if not international basketball networks, man. I'm trying to tell you, everybody gave him smoke, and he kept working, and he said it himself. He's built something in that, man. I agree with him, man. He's got work to do, and I want to see a lot more of a leadership role. But I think that had a lot to do with, man. I thought that he came over here thinking he was the guy, but he didn't truly acclimate to being in DC as opposed to being in Golden State. Definitely agree with that, man. Alan said the real question is Tobi's health. I think they could pick him up if he's healthy. He's definitely an option. A lot of mock drafts have him at 2. Now, the knee injury scares me, his defense is shooting, but like I said, the expectations aren't for him to start. So if that's indeed the direction they want to go, he could sit, and I think he could be a pretty good point guard. But if you look at the level of competition too, that's another thing. Definitely things an issue because he plays in a league and a team that the level of competition is not the best as far as European basketball, in my opinion. And there's been a lot of European basketball people telling me that he plays for a team where the competition is not that strenuous. So Showtime Pick says our starting point guard is not on the roster. We'll see. I mean, you may be right, you may be wrong. It says Jordan dictates this summer to work on his defensive fundamentals. He has a future as a starting point guard. He needs to realize he's not Trae Young. I agree with you, man. Don't be such an offensive guy to where you totally forget about defense, man. Because if you look at it in Atlanta, man, drafted the same year as Luka. Look, Dallas ain't trying to trade Luka, man. I'm just trying to tell you, you got to have a guy who, and I'm not saying Luka's a lockdown by any means, but Trae Young has to add some defense, man, because look, guys, the NBA is stamping down on these offensive explosions now, man. Defense is going to be a commodity that's going to be coming back in this league, man, because the league is trying to stamp down a lot of the scoring because people are trying to tune out, man. People don't want to watch shootouts, man. Shooting, people scoring 150 points, there's no defense. It's not fun anymore, so the NBA is working on that because obviously the NBA is a business, and so I definitely see defense becoming the commodity in the NBA again because people just don't want to watch, teams just, go ahead, drive in the lane. By all means, drive and lackluster defense. Nah, man, it's not entertaining. And I think the NBA knows that, man. Guru Strong was good with you. We definitely should move forward with JP, but if a sucker wants to give us a first-round pick in the next 3 years, he's good as gone. Amen, man. I'm with you on that, man. If a sucker wants to give us a first, absolutely, you make that move. But I'm with you. I think JP 13 should go forward as the guy, man. Guru Strong also says Goose should never bring the ball up. He has tunnel vision. I agree with you, man. And that's why I said in certain situations, because you're right. He can get tunnel vision, and he's definitely a score first guy. And that's his job, man. I mean, yeah, he's shown leadership, but Kuz's whole game, especially becoming a complete player in DC, is a scorer. He's a scorer, man, and he's done it well. Inefficiency is a problem at times, but defense, he's not locked down, but he's shown a lot of effort, and he's not a scrub on the defensive end by any means. But he definitely gets tunnel vision, especially in transition. Lord have mercy. Showtime Pick says, absolutely not. If we are going to rebuild his image and bring back his confidence, we need more than just a first. Yeah, man. I mean, it really behooves us to work on a man. But if we can get him there, if we can definitely boost his value, I can see him definitely becoming a target for a team that wants to add that final piece, whether it's a 6-man or another scorer on a contending team, because he's shown that he can score, man. Let's see. Myra Rams, what's good enough position versus Kiss? Let's see. What's good enough position versus Kissbird? I don't know what you mean, man. Let's see, but I'll talk about Kissbird real quick. Kissbird's another guy we haven't really talked much about. He's going into an expiring deal, so I mean, hey, man, you guys comment below, and we'll put this question on the board. Do you guys want to see Corey Kispert re-sign to a rookie extension? That is definitely a question. Or Kuz, my bad. Versus Kuz, what's good enough position versus Kuz? I don't know what you mean, but looking at Kuz, there's a 50-50 chance he gets moved, man. But hey, I definitely appreciate the comment. Let's see, Alan. We just drafted a defensive shooting guard. Well, I mean, that's the thing. What's the long-term outlook with Bilal? Because he can play the wing. 6'8", looking like you could be 6'9". So you very well, depending on what pieces we move, you very well could see Bilal at the wing, because then he can play the 4. So if you move Kuzma, and if you don't slide Marvin back, well, here's the thing though. If you move Kyle Kuzma, you can, depending on the matchup, you can play Marvin Bagley at the 4. You can play Denny at the 4. So we have a lot of capabilities. So yeah, Bilal could definitely play the 2. But man, look, Stephon Castle. I don't know if you've seen him, man, but I'm just trying to tell you. Rigo Tone T says start Bilal 2. I agree with you, man. I like what I saw him in 2. If you don't grab a 2 guard, Bilal's the man in my opinion, man, because with his defense, man. To me, that really makes up with the inefficiencies with Jordan Poole as far as his defense. Locked on Law. Saw you last night, man. I had a good time with you last night, man, on the Is channel. Excuse me. Get a real point guard. Stop trying to turn everyone on the roster into a point guard. What's wrong, man? You all right? I mean, I think we have a point guard already in place. But I feel you, man. There's been an issue with DC trying to turn combo guards and point guards. But I think that Jordan Poole is, the point guard, because it kind of leads into your next comment with him being a 2 guard. He needs the ball in his hands. He needs the ball in his hands. So, I think that the best place for him is point guard, in my opinion, man. But we'll see, man. But you also said Bilal's not enough of a scorer to be number 2. Yes and no. You can have a defender. I think Jordan Poole does enough scoring that he can make up for the inefficiency of scoring for Bilal. I think the biggest thing that Bilal brings to the 2 guard is the defense. The offense is definitely going to come along, man. But the defense is the commodity that is why I'm bringing him to the 2. Excuse me, y'all. Daniel, what's up, man? He says we need to suck it up this year. Very hard to get Cooper Flag or Harper in the next draft. Let me say this, man. Yes, Cooper Flag is definitely the hottest name next year. But look, we saw how it is to be that close to missing out on number 1. We may get one, but it's a very slim chance, y'all. And let's be real. Don't have it in your mind where it's like Cooper Flag or bust. I would definitely look at other prospects because, if we get that first round pick or the first overall pick, by all means, woo. But, look, don't get tunnel vision where it's going to be Cooper Flag or bust, man, because chances are we have a bigger chance not getting Cooper Flag than getting Cooper Flag unless we totally destroy the season. I mean, and even then, if you look at Detroit was hot garbage this year and they ain't got number 1. So, man, the margin is slim. Yeah, you definitely look for Cooper Flag, but I mean, you look at other prospects too, man, because it can't be Cooper Flag or bust because, I mean, it's a slim chance to get him. So we're going to do one more, everybody. We're at the 43-minute mark. We're going to do one more. And like I said, you guys let me know if you want to do this during the week because I enjoy chopping it up with you guys, man. So let's see. All right, man. Oh, man, I'm trying. You got a lot of good comments, man. I definitely appreciate you guys, man. We're going to do this next one, man. In Vax, man, is going to be the last one. Sign Corey and trade Kuz and JD for more picks. Yeah, sign Corey Kispert to a rookie scale contract. I agree. Trade Kuz, 50-50 chance that happens. And JD, I mean, maybe you throw him into a deal, but he is by no means a premier part of any deal. Lord have mercy, but we'll see. And then shout out, this is the Autism Boy Cottage 81. Agreed at Locked On Wizards. What's good? How you doing? So let's see. And then Jag says Nikola Topa should start next season. Man, look, I guess some of us have already started drinking, but it is not. I'm just messing with you, man. But I would start next year, man. He's definitely a piece that needs to be developed. But appreciate you rocking with me, man. So I'm gonna end it there, everybody. Like I said, another Friday night. I definitely appreciate you guys, man. We got 43 people in here. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day. Just come on here, man, and rock with your boy, man. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. So again, you guys hit me up, man. Hit me up on in the comment section. Let me know you guys want to do more of these during the week or just on Fridays. You guys let me know because I know a lot of us work, man. So I get all that. So definitely let me know what you guys are doing, man. Because like I said, I enjoy these Friday Q&As, man. I like getting on here and chopping up with you guys and starting the weekend right, man. So definitely appreciate you guys. Look, man, you guys have a safe and blessed weekend. definitely, if you drink responsibly, man. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. And I will see you guys Sunday night. All right. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. And that's available on Amazon Fire TV and the Free Fire TV channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts Locked On, plus the national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now available on the Free Fire TV channels app. So again, appreciate you guys, man. I will see you guys on Sunday, man. We're going to talk about Cody Williams a little bit and a couple of guys, man, like Salon, man, because that kid can play. So we're going to talk about some sleepers in this draft on Sunday, man. So again, you guys have a safe and blessed weekend, man. And it's supposed to be raining in the DMV, man. So definitely it's going to be a Netflix and chill weekend and with the PS5, man. But definitely if you drink responsibly and you guys stay safe, man. And I will see you guys Sunday night. Hail to the Wizards and peace next time.